afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today for Sunday. Today is July 21st and we're covering the latter half of the card from Del Mar and the late pick 5. Now the late pick 5 starts in the 7th race. It has approximate post time about 7:13 here in Central Time Zone, so 5:13 Pacific Time. 7th race starts out with the Oceanitas Stakes. That's a mile in the grass. It's a conditioned stake. It's for horses who have not won $50,000 stake or more at a mile or over since last October. So some conditions to this one. So it makes it interesting. It creates a nice field here. I've got 2 horses here that I want to put in. I got the 3 horse, who is Justique. Now, Justique comes out of the John Sheriff's barn. I have not been playing Sheriffs for a while now because this guy just was killing me and wasting money and not winning. And then here the guy shows up yesterday at Del Mar and wins the last race at 36-1. So I'm just kind of wondering, maybe that wakes up the Sheriff's barn. I know they train there at Del Mar. I've seen them working out on the training track there. So, maybe Sheriff's barn gets live. I don't know. But Justique is a horse who definitely has some talent. And, she was a big purchase a couple years back, showed a lot of promise. And, was a horse that just didn't have a lot of speed early on and really needed the help of a fast pace to get it going. So they decided to put her on turf. She's run some nice races. I think she's run with better than she's running with today. And, I just kind of wonder if they cook it up early. Justique might be a horse with Mike Smith. We know Mike does great work on the turf course, and showing his ability and finishing up strong. That maybe Justique could get it done here. And I'm also going to put the 5 horse, who is A.G. Bullet. A.G. Bullet comes out of the Richard Baltus barn, and A.G. Bullet is a very talented horse herself. Now Baltus got this horse in his barn this year. She had won her first 2 races down the hill at Santa Anita. She won the Wishing Well very nicely, and then followed that up in the Grade 3 Monrovia. And I would think that the Grade 3 Monrovia would be a race that really should set her up well with this race here, the mile race in the Oceanitas. So, my question, I don't know if A.G. Bullet wants to go a mile anymore. She's done it before in her career, but, this year she's been sprinting. They did send her over to Churchill back on Derby Day, and, she ran a mile in the Grade 2 Distaff, the Distaff Turf, which is a Grade 2, but really the way that field turned out, it was a Grade 1. Now that day, they just really shot her out of the gate, out of the one hole, and she came out flying. And, she packed it in going around the far turn and was running against much better. So I don't know that she's running against horses like Chili Flag today. She's not. So it makes me think, this horse, they gave her some time off, some nice works, 5-2 in the program with Rispoli. She'll be a huge factor. We'll see if, she gets an easy lead. It'll be really tough. If somebody wants to play Kamikaze, then, we'll see what happens. But got the 3 and the 5 here to start off the pick 5. Now let's move over to the next race, which is the 8th race. This is a Calbred 2-year-old baby race for boys, 5 furlongs on the dirt. And, a little bit open to me. I got the 4 horses here that I want to put in. I'm throwing out both Louis Mendez horses. Mendez has the 1 and the 5, putting both of those out. I've got the 2 horse, who is Nice Going, for Doug O'Neill out of the Redham barn and out of Nyquist. Mario Gutierrez rides. We've seen these guys win a lot. This horse has a great work last time, 46 and change out of the gate. Should have him ready to go here. I also got the 4 horse with Style Cat for Peter Miller, for Kirk and Judy Robeson. Now, they win a lot of races at Del Mar. This team, the Robesons with Peter Miller. This horse ran one time over at Santa Anita back in June. I thought just ran a nice even race. Showed some ability. Didn't win, but didn't need to. Looks to me like a horse that would improve with another start. So, got the 4 horse with Style Cat. We got Raylu Gutierrez on the horse. Now, Raylu is new to the colony. We saw him win a big race yesterday, 38-1, blew up the tote board. And, Raylu Gutierrez certainly could ride. We'll see, how his skills do translate going through the, rest of the meet here. So got the 4 horse. And I'm also going to put the 7 horse, was Prince Dolce, with Carla Gaines being the trainer. Sir Prancelot. We saw a lot of Sir Prancelots do well at Del Mar last year in the baby races. So we're, maybe seeing that maybe this horse's precocious offspring come through this year. So this horse is a long shot today. It's 15-1, but has a nice work. And Carla Gaines sent out a nice horse yesterday, Hot Girl Walk, who came second to a really nice horse. Now, Hot Girl Walk ran a nice race, and I heard from my understanding it was Hot Girl walking around at Del Mar yesterday. A lot of talent there for everyone to see. So, we'll go with Prince Dolce. And then also the 8 horse, who is Cali Cat. Cali Cat comes out of the John Sadler barn, first starter, has some good works. But here's what I'm wondering. This horse, $190,000 purchase. That's a lot of money for a Calbred. And, when you're spending money like that, you probably expect to win break your maiden early and see what you got. So I'm going to put Cali Cat in 10-1 with Juan Hernandez, John Sadler. We've got the 2, the 4, the 7, and the 8. All right, now let's go over to the 9th race. 9th race is the Wicker. Now this is another restricted stakes, the mile on the grass. This one's for the boys. And I find this race really, really open here. I've got 6 horses here. So, the Wicker usually does produce, some decent prices. And I just see this as a very open race, and I'm just hoping to survive in advance. So we've got the 1 horse who is Noble Reflection out of the George Papa Padromo barn. Now, this horse has shown some high speed and some good races in his career. He comes off a long layoff, hasn't been seen since last year over at Santa Anita. Ran back, getting beat on the wire down the hill. They gave this horse a break. He's got some nice works, and he shows speed from the 1 hole, so it's probably one way to go here with Gutierrez, see how far he can go. So we'll put Noble Reflection in. Then I'm going to also put the 3 horse in, who is Almendares. Almendares comes out of the Phil D'Amato barn. Antonio Fresu rides. This horse has shown a good record at Del Mar with a couple wins last year. Showed a good account of himself in those 3-year-old races that they run the series. So Almendares is a factor here. The 4 horse was First Peace out of the Mark Glatt barn. Now, First Peace is a horse that I've chased a few times at Santa Anita this past winter and spring. And, this horse is very talented, but just somehow doesn't get it done. I'm just wondering if maybe this horse is developing what we talked about yesterday, that punching bag tomato can syndrome, where the horse shows some good races, shows good numbers, but doesn't get it done. Kind of like in boxing, you've got some of these also ran fighters that, they put up against better fighters and say they beat this person, they beat that person. I'm just wondering if First Peace has become that punching bag type of horse, but I don't want to throw him out. So I'm going to put him, that's the 4 horse. I'm going to also put the 8 horse, who is Conclude. Now, Conclude also shows a good record at Del Mar, has done some of his best work at Del Mar, winning the Del Mar Derby last year, and also winning the Oceanside, starting the meet. So he's 2 for 2. So this horse is certainly a factor. Phil D'Amato. D'Amato gave this horse a pretty long break. Hadn't run him since that Del Mar Derby. Ran him one time over in the Shoemaker Mile, which I think is a very ambitious, that's ambitious start, to give a horse a long layoff and bring him in a grade 1 mile race like the Shoemaker Mile. Horse didn't do much that day, but I'm going to forgive him. Maybe it was just a prep, for Del Mar, where this horse has done some of his best work. All right, now also going to go with the 9 horse, was Dandy Man Shines. Dandy Man Shines comes out of the Jeff Mullins barn, and Mullins, he announced himself as a turf trainer a couple years back, saying that he was focusing on that, and it's worked out for him. He seems to win a lot of races on the turf. Dandy Man Shines also shows a nice record over at Del Mar, winning twice there, and ran well. Ran in some nice races last year, and it's kind of knocked around some of the allowance conditions. And, as I mentioned, it seemed like the Wicker does produce some nice prices. This horse is 12-1, Rispoli on the horse for Jeff Mullins. Certainly can see this horse upsetting, the apple cart. Then I'm also going to put the 11 horse, who is Astronomer. Astronomer comes out of the Simon Callahan barn, which I've certainly bagged on Callahan for very good reason, because it doesn't win much. But Astronomer is a horse that's very, very talented. I know this horse pretty well. I caught him a couple years ago. He won on a Breeders' Cup weekend, cashed really nice with him at 30-1, made a nice day that day. And then the next year, I was not too smart. I took this horse out of a race at Del Mar. He was 20-1. He won that day. It was last summer. Took me out of a big pick 5. My fault for taking him out. So, I'm just going to hope that Astronomer, he likes this mile distance. Kazushi Kimura's on him. He comes out of the 11 hole. He's a long shot, but maybe this horse overcomes his trainer. So I've got here the 1, the 3, the 4, 8, 9, 11. That's in the Wicker. All right, now let's go over to the 10th race. 10th race is a 20,000 claimer, 6.5 on the dirt. And, these aren't the bottom rung horses on the grounds, kind of a couple steps above. but makes for a very competitive race. And I've got 3 horses here that I'm going to put in. I'm going to put the 7, who is Giver Not a Taker, for Peter Miller and Kirk and Judy Robeson. Mentioned them. They do well at this Del Mar meet. This horse certainly figures. Ayuso Takes the Call. I also rode this horse pretty well back in May at Santa Anita, lost by a nose in a California allowance race. That certainly could set him up nice for this 20,000 claimer. Then I'm also going to put the 9 horse, who is Win Ribbon. Win Ribbon comes out of the Isidro Tamayo barn. And Tamayo's a Northern California trainer, but has shipped horses down south and, has done some good work, at Del Mar. Some of these Northern California trainers can get it done, and some of them just, keep running also ran. So I think Tamayo brings a live horse in here. This horse I thought ran a nice race at Santa Anita last time out in a 32,000 claimer. Now you'll see this horse, if you look at the form, you'll see Lansdowne beat him. I don't have Lansdowne. I thought this horse was a little bit compromised last time, having to come out of the 1 hole and shoot for the lead. Today's a different day. I expect a bigger effort out of Win Ribbon at 6-1. I'm also going to make a win bet on Win Ribbon. Then I'm going to put also in this race the 11, who is Smuggler's Run, for Andy Mathis. Now Andy Mathis is definitely a trainer who comes down every year and does well. Andy Mathis figures it out, knows where to place his horses, coming from north to south, gets them in good spots, and he does win races at Del Mar. So Andy Mathis always a factor. This horse is 3-1 today, Smuggler's Run, with Kyle Frey. The horse has run twice at Del Mar, came second one time. So, he fits. He's been running with Allowance Company up there, up north, and comes down to 20. It's certainly a factor here. So we've got the 7, 9, and 11. All right, now let's go to the last race of the day. Last race at Del Mar. It's, mile and a 16th on the grass course. So this is a 3-year-olds which haven't won its first level allowance. So a nice field of horses. I've got 3 horses here that I'm going to put in to try to get this pick 5 capped off. I've got the 1 horse for Richard Baltus and Umberto Rispoli. Baltus has some live horses. We'll see if he caps, get it done here today at Del Mar. This horse, 5-2 in the program, so certainly no secret. Has a couple nice races. What really catches my attention is that this horse was ridden by Van Dyke a couple times this year. Now, Van Dyke really had a tough meeting and struggled to win at Santa Anita. And this horse ended up coming second, and Van Dyke won with him. So Van Dyke could win with a horse. Horse certainly has a lot of ability. They tried the Cinema last time out at Santa Anita stake race. The horse just kind of ran evenly that day, but I think today's a little softer. British Isles should be tough. Then I'm going to put the 4 horse in, who is Rostaman Vibe. Now, Rostaman Vibe, it comes out of the Peter Urton barn. Now, Urton disappointed me and probably a lot of other people yesterday. I think this horse, has worth a shot. He's run well at Del Mar. Long shot today at 20-1. Juan Hernandez takes the call, but as we see in some of these turf races, long shots can pop. And, you got connections, winning type of connections with Urton and Hernandez at 20-1. You could see them upsetting the apple cart, at the end of the day. That's the 4 Rostaman Vibe. And then I'm going to also put the 9 horse, who is Senoir. Senoir comes out of the Phil D'Amato barn. I had given this horse out last time, got the job done in the maiden ranks over at Santa Anita. And, this horse is, maybe sharp and certainly fits here in this first level allowance. We're going to see if this horse likes Del Mar, but certainly a talented horse at 7-2 with Hector Barrios. So that's the 1, the 4, and the 9. All right, now let's recap here. So at Del Mar here in the 7th race, we got a pick 5 that we're going to start with the 3, 5, with the 2, 4, 7, 8, with the 1, 3, 4, 8, 9, 11, with the 7, 9, 11, with the 1, 4, 9. Now that's a $216 ticket that I'm going to play. I'm not suggesting that you have to play that. If you want to narrow it down, you do so. You want to play pick 3s within it, play the pick 4 or make some win bets. You got to do what might be best for you to try to make some money today. So as always, and then we got the win bet on in the 10th race on the 9. That would be Win Ribbon. All right, so as always, I wish you the best of luck. Let's get some good trips because that results in good luck. And let's see some good, safe racing over at Del Mar. As always, I ask you to please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Like, dislike, make some comments. Let's create a discussion for this meet at Del Mar and see how things develop. Thank you very much.